Imagine you have a restaurant. Your restaurant is open 24 hours a day, but you only need a team of 10 workers for one big order that comes every night at 11 p.m. Would you keep all 10 workers working and getting paid for the entire 24 hours? Probably not. You would bring them in when the work starts, let them complete the order, and then you're done. This is the basic idea behind job compute in Azure Databricks. And if you're preparing for DP-750, understanding when and why to use job compute is important. So let's understand it in the simplest possible way. First, let's understand the problem. Suppose we have an ETL pipeline that runs every night. At 1 a.m., our pipeline does this. Read raw data, transform data, validate data, load delta tables. All of these operations require compute resources. So where does that compute come from? That's where job compute comes in. In Azure Databricks, a job contains one or more tasks. For example, task 1, read customer data. Task 2, clean and transform the data. Task 3, write the final data to a delta table. Each task needs compute to execute. You can configure compute for the tasks, and multiple tasks can even share the same job compute resource. So remember this simple definition. Job compute is compute used to execute your automated Databricks job tasks. Let's make this even easier. Imagine you're running a pizza restaurant. You have 3 steps for every large order. Step 1. Prepare the ingredients. Step 2. Cook the pizza. Step 3. Pack and deliver it. These are like the tasks in a Databricks job. Now you need workers to perform these tasks. You could have one team handle all 3 tasks, or you could have specialized teams for different tasks. Databricks works similarly. A job can have multiple tasks, and you can configure one compute resource to be shared by multiple tasks, or use different compute resources when the workloads have different requirements. So the analogy is, restaurant is Databricks job, workers are compute, pizza making steps are job task, completed pizza is processed data, that's job compute. Now here's where you need to be careful, especially for the DP-750 exam. What's the difference between job compute and all-purpose compute? Let's use our restaurant again. Imagine your chef is developing a new pizza recipe. He adds cheese, tastes it, changes the sauce, runs another test, changes the ingredients again. This is an interactive process that's similar to all-purpose compute. You are developing, experimenting, running notebooks, checking results, and making changes. But now imagine the recipe is finalized. You don't need the chef experimenting anymore. You simply want the same pizza produced automatically every night. That's your production job. And that's where job compute comes in. So remember, all-purpose compute development and interactive work. Job compute automated job workloads. And Databricks specifically recommends using job compute rather than all-purpose compute for production jobs.